Hi, it's your girl Mel. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm doing a solo episode with you today about quitting with grace. And I want to share a story with you, something that I quit recently that was taking up a good amount of my time. And it wasn't that I quit it for any bad reasons. In fact, this was something that I was still enjoying. But I still kind of came to the conclusion that it just wasn't reaching its goals for me anymore and that I needed to unsubscribe. And I want to share this with you because a lot of the time we feel like we need to quit something when the going gets tough, or we need to get to the point where we're just completely fed up, we're completely burnt out, and then we say, I'm not going to do this anymore. Good riddance. And, we kind of like shake our hands and we're just like, I'm done. This situation is not that. In fact, this event that I'm going to talk about was something that I was still enjoying. And yet I still decided that I just didn't want to have capacity for it anymore. And if you're listening to this, then, think about a time in your life where you've just been kind of reevaluating like what you want to have time for. So in your business, maybe it was like a really busy period where you were getting a lot of clients or you're getting a lot of orders, or maybe it was when you became a mother, or maybe it was when you were planning a wedding and you just were a little more time poor than you were previously. Think about back to that time and think about all the things that you were doing, all the things you needed to be doing, and how much it just would have been nice to like take one off your plate and have the gift of a couple hours back in your day. That was really where I was at when I made this decision. And this event was something that I was doing every 2 weeks for 2 hours, plus a little bit of prep and a little bit of, you know, time to come down after after the social event. And it wasn't okay. So let me walk you through this whole thing. I had been doing it for about a year and a half, and I got to a point where I just thought this isn't meeting its goals for me anymore. Like, it's still fun, yes, I'm still networking, yes, I'm still having a great time with people that I enjoy spending time with, but it wasn't really hitting its original goals for me anymore. And I felt like even though I still had room to grow and improve in this social setting, I just thought it's fine. Like, I can kind of redirect that energy elsewhere in my business. And I decided to unsubscribe. And it was a tough decision because it was a lot of back and forth of, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? And to be totally frank with you, so much mental energy went into like being on the fence. Like, should I? Shouldn't I? Shouldn't I? Shouldn't I? But there was a lot of power in just me making the decision, because if I wasn't 100% in, if it wasn't clear to me that I was 100% in, then I was a little out. And that signaled to me that if I was a little bit out and my heart wasn't in it, then I just shouldn't be doing it. But what was hard was actually making the call to my friend to say, I love you, I love this, but I'm not going to be coming anymore. And that conversation was confronting. I don't love confrontation. And I don't typically enjoy telling people no. In fact, growing up, I was the good girl, I was the perfectionist. I wanted to keep everyone happy and, put a smile on my face and bear and grin and bear it and just do all the things, put myself under a lot of pressure. So having this conversation was really hard. And I thought, I owe it to her to explain what's going on. I owe it to her to just, you know, to set her expectations for me as well, because she was expecting me to show up and I would show up, but my heart wasn't in it. So I called her and I just said, this is something that I've enjoyed doing. I've learned and grown so much with you in this setting. And yet, it's not something I want to continue with. And those words were hard to say, but completely liberating when I said it. So let me repeat it. I said, I enjoy this. I enjoy being with you all. And yet, it's not something that I want to continue with. And she was absolutely supportive. She was like so supportive. And I'd spent probably 2 weeks dreading this call. And she was just like, Mel, I get it. No, totally. No, it makes sense. And I was just like, thank you so much. It was the sweetest thing. And so here's the thing that I want to kind of pull apart and highlight for everyone is that you get to decide what you have capacity for. And while, yes, you may be managing all of this, when, yes, you can juggle all the things, it's probably going to feel a little bit better to not juggle all the things and to actually just gracefully take some of that off your plate, to gracefully outsource it, or to just completely unsubscribe in period, full stop, like I did. And it is completely liberating. And while I could have kept doing this, it was taking up time. It did have a cost to me, essentially. Like, I was going for at least 2 hours and, with a little bit of time on either end to prep and then to kind of ease back into life. But there was a cost associated. And I want you to think about like all those things that are on your plate that you would maybe appreciate not being on your plate. Like, there's a cost to that stuff. It takes your energy, it takes your time to go and do these things. So, like, what would you potentially be doing with that time otherwise? Like, maybe you would redirect that to somewhere else in your business that has more alignment. Maybe you would take that time and spend it with your kids. Maybe you would spend it with your partner. Maybe you would just enjoy being in nature a little bit more than you currently are. You get to decide what is on your plate. You get to decide what you want to do with your life. And you can choose things that light you up, that give you fun alignment, and that are ultimately going to continue to get you moving forward, to get traction, and to do the things that you want to do with your life. Because that's all that we're here for, right? We're here to live our lives, to fully express ourselves, to enjoy that abundance that is absolutely yours by birthright, and to have that business that you love, that you're obsessed with, and that isn't pulling you down and feeling absolutely hard to do all the time. So that was just one story that I wanted to share on something that I unsubscribed from. And it's given me a lot more time back into my week. It's given me more alignment in my goals, and it's clarified things that like I do want to do with my life and that I don't want to do with my life. And it also gave me that power. It gave me my power back to find my voice, to speak for what I wanted, and to actually advocate for myself. That was probably the biggest thing. And I really hope that helps you decide what is going to be on your to-do list moving forward, what you have capacity for, and ultimately what you want to do with your life.